Have you ever met someone who doesn't need to say much, yet somehow they control the entire room? They don't shout, they don't overshare, and they don't force their way into conversations. But people walk away thinking, wow, I like that person. That quiet magnetism, that calm presence, isn't luck. It's not charm. It's emotional intelligence. But here's the catch. Emotional intelligence isn't what most people think it is. It's not about being nice all the time. It's not about smiling constantly or pretending you're some unshakable monk. It's not even about empathy in the fluffy Instagram quote way it's usually sold to you. Real emotional intelligence is subtle. It's invisible until it's missing. It's the ability to stay grounded while everyone else is reactive. It's the skill of connecting deeply with people without making the moment about yourself. It's power without noise. So in this video, we're diving into 7 subtle behaviors that reveal high emotional intelligence. Behaviors so rare that most people never even notice them, until they encounter someone who has mastered them. And when you start practicing them consistently, you won't just be liked. You'll be trusted. You'll be remembered. You'll be respected without ever asking for it. So let's break it down, starting with number 1. And spoiler, it's not making eye contact or giving fake hugs. Behavior 1, they pause before reacting. Most people fire back instantly, whether it's defensiveness in an argument or blurting out whatever their emotions tell them in the moment. But emotionally intelligent people, they pause. Not because they're afraid, not because they're weak, but because they know the first reaction is often ego-driven, not truth-driven. Research from the American Psychological Association shows that even a 6-second pause before responding can reduce emotional reactivity by more than 60%. That's not suppression. That's mastery. Think about it. Someone disrespects you, do you snap? Someone challenges your idea, do you rush to defend? Or do you breathe, wait, and then choose the response that serves you best? That tiny pause, that ability to stand calm while everyone else flinches, is one of the most magnetic behaviors you'll ever see. Because in a world addicted to instant reactions, restraint is rare. And let me pause here for you. If you already see the value in this, if you've caught yourself nodding, do not just keep watching quietly. Hit that subscribe button right now. Because here's the truth. If you don't, you'll forget, you'll move on, and you'll stay stuck in the same reactive patterns you've always had. Don't risk it. Subscribe now or later you'll wish you did. Behavior 2, they read the room without making it about themselves. Have you ever noticed how some people can walk into a room and shift the energy without raising their voice? That's because they're paying attention. Not just to words, but to tone, rhythm, and body language. They can tell when someone is uncomfortable, even when that person is smiling. They can sense the shift in mood before it even happens. And here's what makes it powerful. They don't use this awareness to center themselves. They don't say, "Oh, you seem upset. Was it something I did?" Or, "Yeah, I totally understand. I had a rough day too." That's performative empathy. Real emotional intelligence is quiet. It's about observing, adjusting, and respecting the flow of the moment. Most people enter a room thinking, "How do I fit in?" Emotionally intelligent people enter thinking, "What's happening here, and how can I add value without stepping on anyone?" It's a huge difference. Behavior 3, they let silence do the heavy lifting. Most people can't handle silence. They over-explain. They rush to fill the gaps. They talk just to avoid feeling awkward. But high EQ people, they let silence breathe. Because silence isn't empty, it's space. It's where honesty surfaces. It's where real thoughts emerge. In negotiations, interviews, and even conflict, silence is one of the strongest tools you can use. Harvard Business Review found that salespeople who embraced pauses during client calls had 23% higher close rates. Why? Because silence makes people think. And here's the real kicker. When you don't rush to speak, people assume you're confident, even if your heart is racing inside. That's presence. That's power. So ask yourself, are you addicted to filling the silence? Or are you willing to master it? Behavior 4, they ask deeper questions. Most people default to shallow conversation. So what do you do? Busy day. See that thing on Instagram? But emotionally intelligent people cut through the surface without being awkward. They ask things like, what's something you've been overthinking lately? What's giving you energy right now? What's one thing you're secretly excited about? These aren't performance questions. They're real. They tell the other person, I'm curious about you, not just about talking. And that changes everything. Because, as Stephen Covey said, most people don't listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. High EQ people, they listen to understand. Behavior 5, they regulate, not suppress, their emotions. Let's clear up a myth. Emotionally intelligent people feel everything. They feel anger, jealousy, anxiety just like everyone else. The difference is they don't let those emotions control them. They don't pretend they're fine when they're not. That's suppression. Instead, they acknowledge the emotion, understand it, and then respond in an intentional way. Example, you're in a meeting. Someone cuts you off. Do you explode? Do you stew in silence? Or do you calmly say, "I'd like to finish my point"? That's regulation. It's emotional weightlifting. And the more you practice it, the stronger you become. Because here's the truth. Numbing emotions doesn't just numb the pain. It numbs the joy too. Emotionally intelligent people don't numb. They transform. Fear into strategy. Hurt within boundaries. Frustration into focus. That's not self-help fluff. That's neuroscience. Behavior 6. They don't make everything about themselves. Ever shared something vulnerable only for the other person to hijack the conversation? "Oh my God, same thing happened to me. Let me tell you what I did." Suddenly, your moment becomes their performance. High EQ people resist that urge. They don't interrupt. They don't compete for attention. They let the space belong to you. That's rare. Because most people are conversational narcissists, not out of malice but insecurity. But emotionally intelligent people don't need to insert themselves to feel important. They know they already matter. And here's a quick guilt trip for those watching. If you've made it this far and you still haven't subscribed, ask yourself, why? You're consuming wisdom for free, knowledge that could make you magnetic in every room you walk into, and you're not willing to click a single button? Do me a favor. Either subscribe right now, or scroll down and explain in the comments why you refuse to. Go ahead. We'll wait. Behavior 7. They can disagree without disrespect. This is the one most people fail at. Disagreement usually feels like war. But emotionally intelligent people separate the point from the person. They can say, "I see it differently," or "I disagree with that part, but I understand where you're coming from," all without making you feel stupid, dismissed, or attacked. That's huge. Because conflict doesn't destroy relationships. Disrespect does. A 2022 study from UC Berkeley showed that teams with higher emotional intelligence resolved conflicts 40% faster than others. Not because they avoided conflict, but because they handled it with maturity. Imagine what that means in your life. Fewer passive-aggressive fights in relationships. Clearer meetings at work. Friendships where nobody's walking on eggshells. Emotional intelligence doesn't make you conflict-free. It makes you conflict-resilient. And that's where peace really lives. Let's bring it all together. The 7 subtle behaviors of high emotional intelligence. They pause before reacting. They read the room without making it about themselves. They let silence do the heavy lifting. They ask deeper questions. They regulate, not suppress, emotions. They don't have conversations about themselves. They disagree without disrespect. And remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about practice. Emotional intelligence isn't a fixed personality trait. It's a skill. It's trainable. Every pause you take, every question you ask, every time you listen instead of rushing to reply, you're building emotional strength. And here's the harsh truth. If you don't practice this, if you ignore it, you'll stay reactive, you'll stay misunderstood, and you'll stay forgettable. But if you practice even one behavior, you'll start becoming the calmest, most trusted person in any room. Not by force, but by presence. So here's your challenge. Pick one of these behaviors. Try it today with a real person in a real conversation. And see what happens. Because awareness without action is just performance. But awareness with action, that's transformation. That's growth. And before you leave, don't just click away silently. Subscribe right now. Because if you don't, you're not just missing this video, you're missing every tool that could reshape how the world sees you. And if you're stubborn enough not to, then fine, prove it. Go to the comments and explain why you chose not to subscribe. But if you're serious about growth, if you want presence, respect, and influence, subscribe now.